Hello everyone, I hope you are doing very well. My name is Atik and I am an aerospace engineer at the Boeing company and also a PhD student of mechanical engineering at University of North Dakota, USA. So a few days ago, while I was making few videos about higher study, especially pros and cons of doing higher study in the USA, PhD, masters, and also why you should consider doing your PhD in the United States. So during that time, I received a question from one of my brother that, okay, beside the pros and cons of doing PhD or masters in the USA, what are the requirements? What could be an ideal or suitable profile if someone is interested to pursue his or her PhD here? So like when he said then ideal profile, that means what I understood, it's about CGPA, GRE, IELTS score, publications, and many other things here. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss about it. Stick with me, I'm coming back soon. So if we want to talk about the higher study requirement, the first thing obviously come to our mind is the CGPA. And when the issue or topic of CGPA comes, I found many people, they easily get frustrated about the CGPA. Like I know it's very challenging to keep a constant or a good CGPA throughout the whole 4 years of your program. And I myself do not have a good CGPA, what we understand that 3.8 or above. I had a very ordinary CGPA, 3.5 plus, I think, and I believe it was about 3.57. It's not that bad, and of course it's not so good, but somehow it was possible to fight with this grade. So for your PhD or masters in USA, what could be an ideal CGPA? I would say if you have 3 above in the scale of 4, you can still you can have fight. Even sometimes if you have below 3, you can survive as well. 2.9 plus you can survive. Maybe in that case you need to go to some low rank university for the master's program, but after the masters your master's CGPA will be all in all. You can use it for your PhD later on. So if you have a CGPA lower than 3, don't get frustrated. Still now you can fight. Your chance of battle is still now available. So but the people, those who have 3.2 to 3.5, this range CGPA, I think definitely you should take a chance. You are a very competitive candidate if you meet the other requirements. Okay, so 3.2 to 3.5 is of course a good CGPA, but if you have 3.5 plus, you are in a very good position, provided you can ensure other requirements. Okay, so I think you are now clear about the CGPA requirement. Now the second important requirement comes is the GRE, graduate record exam score. So GRE also, I believe if you have a 300 plus score or at least 300, you are a good candidate. If it is below 300, still now you can fight, but your chances will become low. In that case, like if your GRE is low, and I believe that in that case your grade point average CGPA can fight for you. Let's say your GRE score is 297, for example, but you have a good CGPA 3.6 or 3.7, so your CGPA can fight for you in that case. And there are some university where there is no specific requirement for the GRE, no minimum marks for GRE. So if you choose university wisely, that can really helpful for you. Okay, so GRE, if you have 300 plus, you are a good candidate, but if you have 310 plus, 315, 316, 320, you are an excellent candidate. Okay, so the third requirement is the IELTS or TOEFL. For the IELTS, many university I found, they have the minimum requirement of 6.5, and some university for the graduate teaching assistantship, if you want to get this assistantship, they specifically look for the speaking section. They ask for minimum 7 score out of minimum score 7 in the speaking section of the IELTS. So I would say most of the university you will find in the range of 6.5 or 6.5 plus. So as long as you have 6.5, you are a safe candidate, but try to keep a good score in the speaking section, because I found some university they really look for 7 at least in the speaking section. Now the publication, fourth requirement, this is not a requirement which is mentioned in the requirement or admission requirement in the university website, but trust me, this is a huge parameter if you wanna ensure your assistantship. like teaching or research assistantship. Now, if you talk with many people in Bangladesh or other countries, those who got the funding, teaching assistantship or the research assistantship, they will say that, oh, okay, I didn't have any publication. That's fine. I saw many people, those who are doing their PhD or masters with full funding without any publication. That is pretty much possible. But if I consider my case and also consider cases of many people, I found that publication can really help you a lot, especially if you are like me, who do not or who doesn't have a good CGPA, strong GRE score, or very good IELTS score. IELTS is not that important. CGPA and GRE, who do not have a good CGPA or GRE score, for them having good number of publications or at least one or two good publication is really helpful. So in that case, I would say if you have some publication, it is really helpful. Now, when I talk publication, many people ask me, okay, bro, in the undergrad level, having some publication is tough. Yeah, I know. And professor at universities, they also know that it is not wise to expect publication from an undergrad student. But if you have one, trust me, you will be ahead of the competition compared to many candidates, those who are applying internationally to the United States. Now, I will make a video about publication later, but for here are short tips. Like in Bangladesh, most of the engineering college or university, when you are in the final year, you have to write a thesis. And for writing this thesis, you need to do the literature review, right? Introduction part or the literature review part. So if you want, there are many conferences held in Bangladesh, especially IEEE conference and sometimes ASME conference in Buet. So in that case, if you think that your work is not ought to publish, there no problem. At least when you are doing the literature review for your thesis, that time you can easily write a review paper based on the literature review finding you have to do the thesis. By this way, you can have easily a conference paper, or sometimes if it is a good, you can even have a journal paper as well. Do not bother so much about the journal quality, because you are publishing in the undergrad level. That is a lot for the professor. Don't consider too much about the impact factor or other things for your journal. If you can go for a good journal, that is good. But if it is normal journal or some it's a journal, that's not a problem, because you are not a PhD or doctoral student. You are an undergrad student, like. So what happens if you have some experience in publication? That is a very big advantage, and that can fight for you to the professor, because in that case, professor will understand that, okay, this guy, he is not a fresh student. At least he has some idea how to write a technical paper. He knows what is abstract. He knows what is literature review, what is finding. So I don't need to babysit him or her. He has some idea at least. So that's how it can be helpful. I'm telling you, publication can be a big boost in your profile if your CGPA or GRE is weak. If you have any further question about publication, please drop a comment below and ask me. I will try to clarify it to you. Then after publications, another important thing is the extracurricular activities. Now, many people do different club or other thing, and they love to put it in the resume, but I didn't find it is so much helpful for the higher study purpose, like especially for masters or PhD. But if the situation was like that, you are an undergrad student here in USA, if you are doing undergrad here, then I would say that for you to have good experience, good exposure to different club or society, doing some activities project there, that might be really helpful for you for your job, or maybe in the higher study phase as well. But because you are in Bangladesh, you are trying to do your PhD or masters in USA, so considering that situation, having some publication, at least one or two review papers, is more helpful for you than to getting involved in different club or societies. But if you have both, like the publication as well as club and societies together, that is even better. So if you can afford, go for it. I'm just telling that publication might be more helpful for you than joining different club and doing different project, because what essentially you will do as a master's or PhD student in USA, you will do the research, and your parameter will most of the cases judged by the research and publications. You will see that when you will be a graduate student, most of the time your professor will tell you to publish paper. This is the main job, bread and butter for the grad student. So if you have some exposure to the publication from the very beginning of your undergrad, especially in the final year, that is a very good green signal for you for the grad study. I know many people will argue with me that publication is not important. I got assistantship without publication. Yeah, there are a lot, but at the same time, there are few people who fight with the publication with a weak profile like CGPA and GRE score, and probably I'm also one of them. So in that case, having good number of publications is really helpful. Like if I recall during my emailing time, I can remember I had a publication in IEEE conference, and my professor in USA, she was a very big fan of IEEE publications, though it was not a that much good conference paper. Trust me, it was a very ordinary conference paper. There was not so much technical depth, but even though, because I published in the IEEE conference, so my professor was very much impressed by this, and she put me in the top list compared to other candidates just because of having this publication. And during my Boeing job application also, I had a conference paper published in BUET probably, about a conceptual design of an air superiority fighter during that time. So it was not a good paper at all, trust me, because I was an undergrad student, and you know the level of education provided in Bangladesh. But what impressed them, that I gave a try. I know how to present the thing. I have confidence on my work. That is most important for them. They said that, okay, this guy, he studied in Bangladesh. He did some project, did research about an aircraft design, conceptual design, and he was courageous enough to show and present his work in front of people. That is the courage, that is the bravery that they look for. So they appreciated it. And when you publish something, it will be available online. Everyone can see it. And in this paper, the aircraft design paper that I have some citations also there. That was even boost my profile more for my Boeing interview. So yeah, having publication is always helpful for you. No matter how much qualityful publication you have, if you have some in undergrad, that is absolutely an advantage for you. Now, the next requirement is if you have a good SOP, that is statement of purpose, or sometimes it is called the letter of intent. Having a good SOP is really very helpful. And when I said good SOP, I always recommend it to become a touchy SOP. For example, I can tell, let's consider you grew up in a village and you are a civil engineering student. When you used to go to school in your childhood time, there was no good bridge there. Sometimes you have to have hardship when you are trying to cross the river or canals, which motivate you to become a bridge engineer, later to pursue civil engineering. So try to make a connection like this. In my YouTube channel, you can see there are some example of SOP. If it is helpful, you can watch there, or there are many other good videos by different people in the YouTube. You can take help from there, no problem. And last but most important thing, which is not a requirement provided by the university, but in my eyes this is the most important thing that you should do to secure a scholarship, is the email. Email is the most important thing, guys, because when you will apply from Bangladesh, India, or any other countries as an international student to the United States, I believe that you are the person who need the scholarship or the assistantship must, at least in 80 to 90% cases. To get a good scholarship or assistantship, emailing is a vital tool, skill that you need to have. I found many good students, those who have a good CGPA, good profile, but they are not that much skillful in sending email to professor, and that's how they are lagging behind, and they wasn't able to get the desired success that they really deserve. But there are some mediocre student or low CGPA holder or other student, they are very tricky and skillful in sending email, and they really nailed it. They nailed the assistantship. I will make video about email later, and I have some videos in my YouTube channel also. Feel free to watch there, how to send email to the professor, and along with many other videos available on the online platform. So yeah, sending a tricky email or effective email to the professor can ensure your success a lot. I would say throughout the all requirements I said, 50% depends on your email. At least 50% depends on your email. If you can nail the proper technique of sending email, I would say that your higher study journey would be at least 50% smoother. Okay, so spend a lot of time on drafting your email and send it very wisely. Okay, never hesitate to send email to professor. Like sending email to the professor is sometimes a matter of luck. I found many professors, those whose research area was very close to me, I sent them email, very customized email, but it didn't work. Sometimes I send email to random people, random professor, and that did work. Okay, so never hesitate to send email, and send email as much as you can. It will increase your chance. Many people will tell you try to send customized email, only send to the professor that who are in your area, but honestly it didn't work for me, and it doesn't work for many people in this journey. For myself, sending lots of email to lots of professor actually worked. So don't hesitate. If you think that this is the way you should take, then go for it. Or if you think customized email will work best for you, then also go for it. Like I said, I'm an ordinary profile holder, so I didn't expect that. Like my expectation was not so high that I need this professor, this university. I was very relaxed about it, and I was prepared from my mind that whatever university or professor I will get, I will try to utilize the maximum output of it. Okay, so that was my journey. So in that case, I believe if you follow the same route, if you are an ordinary profile holder like me, so emailing to lots of professor might be helpful for you. So from today's discussion, my friend, I hope you got a good idea about the requirements for your master's or PhD journey in the USA. If you have any further question, feel free to drop a comment below and ask me about it. I will try to reply, or I will try to make a video about it in the future. Till then, have fun and enjoy each and every moment of your life. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye.